Cars today are faster, safer, and more advanced than ever before. But many car enthusiasts still believe that the best era of automobiles happened decades ago. The era of roaring engines, chrome details, bold designs, and machines built with pure personality. Welcome to Vintage Auto Culture. Today we're diving into the golden age of vintage cars, exploring why classic automobiles continue to capture the hearts of enthusiasts around the world. Before we explore the legends of the past, let's answer an important question. What exactly is a vintage car? Generally, cars built between the 1920s and the late 1970s are often considered part of the vintage or classic era. These cars were created during a time when automobile manufacturers focused heavily on style, craftsmanship, and mechanical character. Unlike modern cars filled with computers and digital systems, vintage cars were mostly mechanical masterpieces. Drivers felt every vibration of the engine, every shift of the gearbox, and every turn of the road. Driving wasn't just transportation, it was an experience. One of the biggest reasons vintage cars remain iconic is their design. During the 1950s and 1960s, car designers treated automobiles like moving sculptures. Manufacturers competed to build the most eye-catching cars on the road. Long hoods, wide bodies, massive chrome bumpers. Cars became symbols of luxury, power, and freedom. Some of the most legendary designs came from cars like the Ford Mustang, which quickly became a cultural icon. Another unforgettable machine was the Chevrolet Corvette, famous for its aggressive look and split rear window. And then there was the legendary Jaguar E-Type, often described as one of the most beautiful cars ever built. These vehicles didn't just transport people, they made a statement. While design played a huge role in vintage car culture, power was equally important. The late 1960s and early 1970s introduced the world to muscle cars. These machines were built for one thing: raw performance. Huge V8 engines delivered massive horsepower, turning everyday cars into street monsters. One of the most famous muscle cars ever built was the Dodge Charger. With its aggressive styling and powerful engine, it quickly became an American icon. Another legend was the Pontiac GTO, often considered the car that started the muscle car revolution, and of course the legendary Chevrolet Camaro, a car designed to compete directly with the Mustang. These cars weren't quiet. They roared. The sound of their engines became a defining part of automotive culture. So why do people still love vintage cars today? The answer is simple: character. Modern cars are incredibly advanced, but many of them feel similar. Vintage cars, on the other hand, each have their own personality. Every detail tells a story. The smell of old leather, the sound of the engine starting, the feeling of driving a machine built decades ago. Owning a vintage car is like owning a piece of history. Many collectors spend years restoring classic vehicles, bringing forgotten machines back to life. For them, it's not just a hobby. Even as the world moves toward electric vehicles and autonomous technology, vintage cars continue to grow in popularity. Classic car shows, restoration projects, and collectors around the world keep this culture alive. For many enthusiasts, vintage cars represent something that modern technology can't replace: emotion. They remind us of a time when cars were built not just with computers, but with creativity, craftsmanship, and soul. It's a passion. Vintage cars are more than just machines. They are symbols of history, design, and passion. And even decades later, they continue to inspire generations of car enthusiasts. If you love classic automobiles and vintage car culture, make sure to subscribe to Vintage Auto Culture for more videos exploring the legends of the automotive world. And remember, some cars never truly get old, they simply become timeless.